Hello everyone, my name is Suji. Here I'm going to present our work on optimal energy efficient antenna selection and power adaptation for underlay spectrum sharing. This is a joint work with my research advisor, Professor Nilesh P. Mehta. So this is the outline. First, I'll be presenting the motivation for this work. Then we'll discuss the system model and problem formulation. And after that, I'll present the optimal solution for the problem, which is the energy efficient antenna selection and power adaptation rule. And we'll discuss its derivation. Then, with the help of some numerical results, we'll discuss the performance of the optimal rule. And with that, I'll conclude. So, one of the major challenges that modern wireless communication systems face today is spectrum scarcity. Underlay spectrum sharing is a technique that addresses this problem by improving spectrum utilization. For example, here in this figure, we can see a primary system with a primary transmitter and primary receiver, and a secondary system with a secondary transmitter and secondary receiver. Here, the high priority primary system shares a spectrum with the low priority secondary system. So when both systems communicate simultaneously, there will be interference at both receivers. Now, in order to protect primary's communication, interference constraints are imposed on secondary. Now, widely used interference constraints are peak interference constraint, which says that the instantaneous interference power at the primary receiver must not exceed a threshold. Second one is the average interference constraint, which says that the average interference power at the primary receiver must not exceed a threshold. Now, the more generalized form of the peak interference constraint, which is an interference outage constraint, which says that the fraction of time the interference outage occurs at the primary receiver must not exceed a limit. Now, these constraints degrade secondary's performance. Now, the question is how to improve secondary's performance. So, transmit antenna selection is a multiple antenna technique that can be employed to improve secondary's performance, which we have done here. In this figure, we can see the secondary system selects an antenna S out of 20 transmit antennas and connects to a single RF chain. Then it transmits with power PS to the secondary receiver. Here, by doing this improves secondary's performance by exploiting spatial diversity. Another advantage is use of single RF chain reduces hardware cost and complexity compared to other multiple antenna techniques. Now, transmit antenna selection has been studied extensively for underlay spectrum sharing in the literature. For example, we have simple error probability minimizing task rules, we have SINR maximizing task rules, etc. In this work, we focus on energy efficiency maximizing task rule. So, energy efficiency is defined as the ratio of average rate to the average power consumed in bits per joules. Now, this is an important performance measure in modern communication systems because these systems are expected to achieve higher data rates to support new applications. However, the battery capacity of these systems are limited. So, enabling systems to transmit more number of bits per unit energy consumption is an important concern while designing these systems. To the best of our knowledge, energy efficiency maximizing transmit antenna selection rules for underlay spectrum sharing system is an open problem. And also its solution turns out to be non-trivial when compared to conventional MIMO systems. This is because it not only depends on the secondary transmitter to secondary receiver channel power gain, but it also depends on the interference link gain to the primary receiver. Here we have our system model. We have one primary transmitter, one primary receiver, one secondary transmitter with anti-transmit antennas and single RF chain, and one secondary receiver. Here, HS denotes the channel power gain from antenna S of the secondary transmitter to the secondary receiver, and GS is the interference link gain from antenna S of the secondary transmitter to the primary receiver. We make the following assumptions. We assume flat fading channel. We also assume that the secondary transmitter knows all channel power gains. We impose interference outage constraint on the secondary transmitter to protect the primary. Here, an interference outage occurs at the primary receiver when the interference power, that is PSGS, exceeds some predefined threshold tau. Now the constraint says that the probability of this event must not exceed some Omax. So our goal is to develop an optimal energy efficient antenna selection and power adaptation rule for the secondary system subject to power and interference constraints. Here we present our problem formulation. So our objective function is the energy efficiency normalized by bandwidth. And here sigma square is the combined noise and interference power at the secondary receiver. Xi is the power amplifier inefficiency at the secondary transmitter. PC is the constant power consumed at circuit components such as mixer, filter, and digital to analog converter at the secondary transmitter. So this is our problem P0. So we have to maximize energy efficiency over the set of all antenna selection and power adaptation rules D subject to interference outage constraint and peak power constraint. And also the rule is a function of the channel power gains. Here the peak power constraint arises because of the power amplifier limitations at the secondary transmitter. Now this constraint says that the transmit power must not exceed some peak power Pmax. We now present the optimal solution for the problem P0, which we call as EE-ASPA rule. So for that, first we define a reward function for any given antenna I when it transmits with power Pi. So this reward function is parameterized by two constants, one power penalty constant, which is eta, and an interference penalty constant, lambda. And it has three terms. First term is the instantaneous rate. Second term represents the power consumption weighted by power penalty. And third term is an indicator function weighted by the interference penalty. Here, the indicator function checks whether there is an interference outage at the primary receiver. That is, the indicator function is 1 when there is an interference outage, otherwise it is 0. Now the EE-ASPA rule is as follows. The optimal power for any given antenna I is the power that maximizes the reward function subject to the peak power constraint. And the optimal antenna is the antenna that maximizes the reward function when all NT antennas transmit with their respective optimal powers. We now present an explicit form for the optimal power Pi star. We do with the help of the figure given here. So in this figure, we have the secondary transmitter to secondary receiver channel power gain along x-axis and secondary transmitter to primary receiver channel power gain along y-axis. So we divide this HIGI plane into 4 regions based on 3 candidate power values. First one is the peak power Pmax, second is the water filling power P tilde, and third is the threshold transmit power tau by Gi. Here, water filling power is the power that maximizes the reward function when the interference outage constraint is inactive, that is when lambda is 0. Now, threshold transmit power is such that when any antenna I transmits with a power greater than this threshold power, it will induce an interference outage at the primary receiver. Now consider the first region shown in pink. It turns out that the optimal power is a minimum of water filling power and the peak power. And also we can see that the peak power is less than the threshold transmit power in this region because this region lies below the curve Gi equal to tau by Pmax. Hence, this is the region when an antenna transmits with the maximum allowed power, that is Pmax, it won't induce an interference outage at the primary receiver. Now, consider the second region shown in green. And we can show that the optimal power in this region is the water filling power. And also in this region, water filling power is less than the threshold transmit power. Hence, when an antenna transmits with its optimal power in this region, it won't induce an interference outage at the primary receiver. Now, for regions R3 and R4, the computation of optimal power is much more involved. For example, consider region R3 shown in purple. Here, we compute the reward function values at two candidate powers, water filling power and threshold transmit power, and we choose the maximizing power. Now, here, an antenna induces interference outage only when the optimal power is the water filling power. Similarly, region 4 shown in yellow, we compute the reward function values at two candidate powers, the peak power and the threshold transmit power. Here, an antenna induces interference outage only when the optimal power is the peak power. We now show the derivation of this optimal rule in two steps. So in first step, we convert the fractional programming problem P0 into a more tractable form P1, which is parameterized by the power penalty by using Dingleback's method. So here we transform the objective function as average rate minus power penalty times average power consumed. In step 2, we further simplify the problem P1 and by using the Lagrange method, and the simplified problem P2 is now parameterized by both power penalty and interference penalty. So for this, first we rewrite the interference outage constraint as shown here. So the probability of interference outage can be written as the expectation of indicator function as shown here. Then on simplification, we can show that the objective function of P2 is expected value of the reward function plus some constant. Hence, the antenna S and power PS that maximizes the reward function will solve the problem P2, and hence it will solve the problem P0, which we have shown mathematically in our paper. So now the question is how to find the optimal values of the penalty constants. For that, we propose an iterative algorithm. So here we have two layers, one outer layer to update the power penalty and an inner layer to update the interference penalty for a given value of power penalty. So this is shown in this block diagram. We initialize the power penalty with 0. Then in any kth iteration for a given value of power penalty, we find the optimal value of interference penalty by using subgradient algorithm such that the interference outage constraint is met with equality. Now, in using this, we update the power penalty as eta k plus 1 is equal to the average rate in kth iteration divided by the average power consumed in kth iteration. This is repeated until the power penalty converges. And the algorithm outputs the optimal value of the power penalty and the corresponding value of interference penalty. Now, on the left side in the figure, we have shown the convergence of the outer iteration to update the power penalty. Here we have shown eta as a function of the iteration number of the outer layer of the or the outer iteration. So for different numbers of transmit antennas, and we can see within within 4 iterations the algorithm converges. However, the algorithm to update the interference penalty, which is the subgradient algorithm, takes more number of iterations to converge. Here we present the performance benchmarking of the proposed rule. The figure plots energy efficiency as a function of peak fading averaged SINR. So here in green, we can see the proposed rule, and red, we have the optimal rule. Then we have the conventional antenna selection power adaptation rules from the literature, such as minimum interference rule in orange and maximum ratio rule in blue. And we can see that the proposed rule achieves the highest energy efficiency. And also in low SINR regime, the performance of the proposed rule matches with that of the rate optimal rule. This is because in this regime, The denominator of the energy efficiency is dominated by the constant power. Hence, maximizing energy efficiency is equivalent to maximizing average rate in this strategy. To gain more insights, here we present the average rate and average power consumption of the proposed rule separately. For comparison, we have also shown the rate optimal rule. So in the first figure, you can see average rate as a function of peak fading average SINR. And the proposed rule saturates as SINR increases, whereas the rate optimal rule increases logarithmically as SINR increases. Now consider the power consumption figure. Here you can see the optimal rule saturates as before when SINR increases. On the other hand, the rate optimal rule increases, its power consumption increases exponentially. Hence, the energy efficiency, which is the ratio of average rate to the average power consumed, decreases for rate optimal rule, but it saturates for the proposed rule. With this, I conclude. Here are the key takeaway points. We developed an optimal energy efficient antenna selection and power adaptation rule for underlay spectrum sharing, subject to peak power and interference outage constraints. We have also shown that the rule depends on two penalty constants, the power penalty and interference penalty. And we proposed an iterative algorithm to compute the optimal values of these constants. And we have shown that the optimal rule achieves significant improvement in energy efficiency compared to other antenna selection and power adaptation rules.